a slow, consistent force. With it in between my legs, and do 3 one-arm rows, then jump back, swing, flip, snatch, come back. So for today's workout, I'm thinking about doing, so I'm gonna do forward sled drags the entire workout, but superset them with like a, I guess bodybuilding style exercise, but with dumbbells or kettlebells. So for the first exercise, I'm planning on doing a sled drag back and forth, and then doing curls, alternating with bicep curls after. Um, the reason for the sled is I get to handle a large amount of resistance and keep my heart rate high while using a majority of my body. And I'm a huge fan of uh, keeping my heart rate high during my workouts. Um, I don't really do a whole lot of cardio like on a Stairmaster or on a machine or whatever, but instead, most of my cardio I do is through stuff like kettlebell juggling, a lot of reps on the steel mace, or like large number of sets on the sled with minimal rest, or a lot of compound movements supersetted with minimal rest, especially with the kettlebell. Um, but those kind of exercises aren't always optimal for muscle growth, in my opinion. It's not like they produce zero muscle, just not optimal. So, in any case, to throw in some like bodybuilding style work while having a little bit of high heart rate functional element to it, I think it's a good idea to superset like bodybuilding style exercises with the sled, because the sled is a simple movement that utilizes a lot of muscle at once, and you don't really have to think about it too much except for dragging it back and forth. It's also pretty safe. So, what ends up happening is you're able to keep your heart rate high during the entire workout, do cardio that's resistance based and utilizes the whole body, and also get some bodybuilding style workout in. So, yeah, this is what the first set is going to be, doing 10 reps each hand. Also, the kettlebell kind of allows for doing curls without weight touching your thighs. So that's, I guess, a bonus of doing curls with kettlebells. Anyway, I'm gonna do this. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing. So the sled is going to remain the same during the whole workout, and it's going to be the same movement, 2 forward sled drags. Yesterday I did a bunch of reverse sled, so I'm just going to do forward today. And what's going to change is what the bodybuilding exercise is going to be. But yeah, this is what I'm doing for now. So as the sets go on, I'm going to keep adding a little bit of weight to the sled, um, so that my body encounters a lot of resistance. Just the just the amount of weight that your body has to endure to do anything is going to result in a higher growth hormone release. So with the sled, you can pretty much load a lot of weight and not have that much of an injury risk or any injury risk. The worst that can happen is the sled won't move. So it's a good way of like introducing your body to a lot of heavy load, even in a safe way, even on like days such as today where I'm not uh, I don't know. I do this kind of stuff every day, so I don't know if there is a day such as today. I'd say on a day where I'm not like focusing on anything in particular, just to keep the heart rate high and have my um, body have high resistance as one of the stimulus, is good. I hope that makes sense. I think I mumbled my thoughts there at the end, but pretty much the gist is, even on days where I'm not using a whole lot of heavy weight because I want to give like some of my body a break, by doing the sled, it's a relatively easy movement, so it doesn't take that much out of you in the sense that uh, I don't know, like it's definitely easier than a squat, if to put it that way, or it's easier than doing like a clean and jerk or something like that. But you still get to move a lot of weight. It's easier than a deadlift too. So pretty much the point being, you can do a lot of weight pretty easily relative to a squat and a deadlift, but still handle, a lot of resistance, as opposed to other movements that require you to handle a lot of resistance. It's much harder. Anyway, supersetting this with clean and 3 presses. Then after 3, switch hands. 3, switch hands. So I'm gonna do this 5 times. So what happens is, when the hands are switched, the shoulder that's not working gets to rest a little. So at least in my opinion, what ends up happening is, by the end of the set, I'm able to get a lot more reps than I could have if I went for all 15 at once. Also, the unilateral nature of this movement forces the core to stay engaged. Also, you're performing a clean each time you switch, which is a good movement for the shoulders and full body in and of its own. So gonna do this for now. Sled and the shoulder presses for around 3 to 4 sets. So in the beginning of the video, I had mentioned that I was gonna do like bodybuilding style stuff, but now I got after the first 2 exercises, I got an itch for some kettlebell juggling and snatches. So this next superset is going to have some of that, but I've mixed in some kettlebell rows to, I guess, have some sort of a bodybuilding element to it. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with the sled, and we'll come to the kettlebell when we come to the kettlebell. You might also notice that with each set, the amount of plates on the sled has gone higher. So this is just typical of me of how I slowly overload my body. There's something about like each time when I go up in weight by just a little, like it doesn't feel like too much extra effort to move it, but by the end of it, I definitely am more exhausted at the end of the set. And my goal usually is that exhaustion feeling when it comes to this kind of stuff. Raising the heart rate high and, you know, getting weight training in while having a cardio element to it and a full body element to it. Anyway, so with the kettlebell, I'm gonna start off with it in between my legs and do 3 one-arm rows, then jump back, swing, flip, snatch, come back down, go in, 3 rows, jump back, flip, snatch, come back in, 3, flip, snatch, down, 3 rows, jump back, flip, snatch, last one, 3 rows, jump back, 3 rows, jump back, flip, snatch. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for now. I'm gonna do like 3 sets. Sticking with the forward sled, as I mentioned, that's probably the only thing I'm keeping my word on. The next movement is purely kettlebell juggling. I'm going to practice figure eights with a mug, but we'll get to that when the time comes. I've added still more weight on the sled. I ended up doing 3 sets of the previous exercise, if anyone was curious. In any case, let's finish this part. Leaning forward, driving with the toes into the calves, into the quads, hamstrings, and glutes. Also, taking shorter steps. Never fully extending the legs. And keeping constant tension on the TRX bands when possible. Just got exhausted here a little. Need a breather. And keep moving. Supersetting that with figure eights, with the kettlebell, with the mug flip, this is gonna suck, but gonna go for at least 3 each side. Looks like this. I'm gonna take my hat off. I think that was 4. Anyway, supersetting these 2 things for 3 sets. Recording my top set. It's gonna be the final set probably of the workout before I head into the sauna. Might do some mobility and stuff in the sauna. But as far as the major weight training portion, this is gonna be it. I'm up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 plates and a 25 on this. So whatever that is, and whatever the sled weighs. So yeah, let's see how this goes. But going back to my previous point of being able to use a lot of weight without being, I don't know, I still find it easier than a squat and a deadlift. But that's all besides the point. Let's get this set over with. Leaning forward, getting tension into my arms, and then going to tighten up my core, applying pressure into the floor, and then a slow, consistent force. Halfway done. Preparing for the apocalypse when we won't have electrical tools anymore and we're gonna have to farm with our bare hands. Anyway, time to get back. Need a little breather. Shit. This is one heck of a taxing movement. And as usual, can't forget about the superset. It doesn't matter how tired you are, it's still your set, and you need to Finish it. Oh, figure eights. Here we go, last set. Missed that one. Oh, I'm gonna break the floor one of these days. That was one each side. Two more. Oh, I think that was it. All right, that's it for the weight training portion. Time to head to the sauna.